What's up, everyone? Sean here, and today in this Hawke Talks episode, this is going to be one of the more on the mellow side sort of things when it comes to this subject. I wanted to cover this just as it kind of came to mind with this whole coronavirus that was, still going around. Of course, it's the biggest, probably the biggest thing in our generation or in my history. Like having to live for pretty much 30 years. I've never seen anything on this level, and it got me thinking about certain things about when it comes to content creation anyway. And I've come to realize that things are so fragile. So many things in life are so fragile, and one of them is just being a channel where you're just doing this one thing. You know what I mean? You create that niche, you know what I mean? Like, in the past, of course, for a lot of people it worked because it creates this sort of like incentive for people to go to this one channel because they know that they can rely on this channel for this one thing. And a lot of these people have gathered, for whatever channel, like, you have the one channel for this one fighting game or this one, or just like movie reviews or just like, podcasts or something like that, or just, just one thing, you know what I mean? And I feel like things like that, at the end of things, while they do have some initial good results for a number of people. It doesn't work for everyone, obviously. It's just kind of like a game of luck, especially when it comes to YouTube nowadays. But point being is that those channels often meet some initial success, right? But the sustainability over time becomes questionable for a number of situations. Obviously not for everyone because it's a case by case thing, but it's just a feeling that I have, and it's just all based off of my opinion. And what I'm trying to get at is that there can be so many factors that could lead to, the one thing you've been focusing on being essentially gone. You know what I mean? Like, what if, let's say, you've, do this one fighting game, of course, and everyone, hops onto that because it's the new hot thing right now. Everyone wants to learn how to do this tech or this combo or learn how to be good at the game. And then once that fighting game is over, people move on to the next thing. And then what if that person doesn't really, or that creator doesn't really like feel comfortable with this next game, but they just force themselves to do it just for one, obviously to try to continue that passion, but two, like the sustainability of possibly the income side of things. It could be anything. It could be a number of things, but obviously it's not going to work for that creator, and over time they're just going to cave in, or they're just going to crack and just say, I can't do this anymore. Or, there are channels where, like, for example, like there are the Call of Duty channels. Obviously that's still going. It's still kind of up there, I guess, especially with all the battle royale sort of craze that's going on right now with Warzone, especially. But again, what I'm trying to really get at is there are so many factors that could lead to the end of things, or at least a big hiatus on things. I guess for the sake of the current situation, the coronavirus has put a stop on so many things right now. Movies, games, and the fact that people can't come together to make videos. That's really puts a stop on things for a number of things, and so that's why I was like really thinking about this as I was in the shower. I'm kind of glad in a way that I really didn't dedicate this channel just for the We Have Fun series, as much as it pains me to say, because the We Have Fun series was kind of like the biggest series that I had in my pocket back in the day. It garnished like over millions and millions of views in the past, and of course things change over time, and that sort of went away. But for the time being, I definitely enjoyed it. I'm not gonna pretend I didn't. And there was like that fame and the rush that I had involving with that, and obviously my friends took notice of how popular these videos have become and stuff. But I've kind of said this before, during those update videos where we've grown up, we've gotten busy with ourselves, and we kind of just moved on from there, and we don't really like come together that often when it comes to just for we have fun. You know what I mean? It was really never like a dedicated series. It just so happened that we just come together just to play video games, and I just made a series out of it. We didn't have this whole thing planned in mind. We never took that step forward to make it into like a big production or anything like that in the first place. It's just us playing video games. But if I were to have just dedicated to that throughout time, like I said, there's so many factors that could have ended this whole thing. Just number one, just us getting older and growing up and just facing the facts of life, reality. We gotta get a job and keep ourselves busy with that, so we have our own flow of income. And then if and even if it all worked out and we can all still come together and still play video games for the sake of We Have Fun series, here comes number two, which is the coronavirus. The coronavirus has forced us to live in the quarantine life and forced us to practice heavily on the social distancing, meaning we can't even come together, just to, play video games. And even if we're tested negative on on the virus itself, of course, we will want to, be good examples towards the younger audience, because, a number of people who watched those videos back in the day were young people, kids, essentially. So we want to set a good example of that, and so we would follow the medical advice and all the professional sort of steps to to adapt and live with what's going on with the current situation. So obviously with the whole quarantine thing, we would have to stay in our homes and just wait it out, and try to go about and make the best of things. So that's why it is, because of this all of this, it made me thought, and I'm just like, dang, dude, I'm just so glad that I ventured out to do other things, like for reason number one, we grew up, we kind of just went our own ways, sort of thing, and that sort of forced me to not force, but it just gave me the idea of venture out to do other stuff. And I was already doing it in the first place. I was trying to do some things different, and here comes the whole repetitive thing. You can only do so much of this for so long. You would want to do something else anyway. So I guess you can say that's the number three. It's the repetitiveness of doing that one thing for the channel, or that niche thing you want to do for the channel. So that's why I wanted to do a lot of things different, and wanted to do other things just to keep it fresh for myself. So that's why I considered doing other games and other things I wanted to do. For those who don't know or who are new to the channel, a long time ago, I used to do the We Have Fun series, but not just that, but just like, Nintendo stuff in general, and just Nintendo. And back in the day, when it comes to Nintendo content creation, it was hard because Nintendo was really cracking down on the third-party claims on a lot of people's videos, including mine. So that's another factor. Like again, like this, the whole, it really supports the point of there are so many factors to where it can really make things end when it comes to channels with that one thing they do. If they decide to stick with that one thing, so that's why and so during that time with the whole third party claim, I wanted to venture out doing PlayStation stuff, the things that you can play on the PlayStation. So I at the time I had a PlayStation 3, so I started to doing like Call of Duty stuff and all that and all that jazz. So ever since then, you see all these games. So the reason why is, well, Nintendo. Ironically, Nintendo was the reason why this channel wasn't really all that Nintendo anymore, sadly. But that's just life. Life is full of so many things that could go wrong or go right, and you just never know what will happen. That's life. Yeah, it does make things interesting, but at the same time, you have to be careful with it. You have to be just ever so vigilant as to what is going to come at you, and you just never know what kind of effect until it hits you, or until it's too late. So it all comes back to the point where you really can't do this one thing anymore nowadays. I mean, it's really up to you, of course. If you're watching this and you're a content creator, right? If it's just a hobby, then by all means, then you do what you want to do. You're the artist. You're the one who is holding that paintbrush, and you are the one to paint that canvas. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm just saying, doing the one thing on your channel, it just leads to these possibilities, and so that's why I went ahead and tried to adapt to kind of get around these things. And with the the coronavirus outbreak and being forced to kind of being separated from people and stuff like that, it just makes me realize that you have to be able to do something else so that you can get by, or you can just put something out for the channel, and that's pretty much that's that. So again, it makes me glad that I didn't really stick with the whole we have fun series thing just for for this channel. I've done that, but also like movie reviews, game reviews, and commentary videos, and I guess you can call these like video essays with the Hawke Talk videos, and let's plays also, like back in the day, stuff like that. So not only is good for me, because I like doing different stuff, like me doing things over and over and over and over again with this one same thing. The repetitiveness is going to get you. So just understand that, and there are still people who want me to do the We Have Fun series videos. As much as I would like to thank you guys for even liking that stuff, just you have to really understand why these things don't last that long. Nothing really lasts forever. At least not a lot of things, unfortunately. But I mean, I guess you can say the same thing for this whole outbreak. It's not gonna last forever. I hope not. But don't count on it being just so short. Just focus on adapting, trying to get around, get through the day, and make the best of it. We're all at home. There are still things you can do at home. You just gotta be creative with it. And this is a good time to spend with your family. You can spend time to kind of really find yourself, what you can do for your career, because no one's working, no one's hiring, no one is making any money right now, or barely anyway. And so pretty much this whole thing has the world on pause. So I guess it definitely is a good time to think about things, and take this time to have fun. You can go on Netflix, or you can go on whatever, and watch and catch up on things, or just relax, take a break, and spend time with your family, your loved ones, whoever, or just spend time with yourself. Just take a breather, and or just make the best of what you have right now with the given situation. So I'm doing the best on my part for myself, and you guys should do the same as well. So, but all things considered, trying not to do the one thing for the sake of, in this case, YouTube. Don't feel free to venture out to do different things, and definitely those doing something different will definitely provide you different view on things, and also just other benefits in general. It's just it really expands on your horizon. It's a good way to explore yourself, and you'll learn something. It's only gonna add to your toolkit, really, and it's really up to you how you're gonna use that. So, but again, it's really up to you. Like I said, and you can still stick with that one thing. This is all just an opinion, and just my personal sort of feelings about this subject. If that isn't like your main source of income, or if this is like your absolute passion, and so you want to do that one thing for your channel, then go right ahead. But if you're trying to get by with your YouTube channel, then well, things like this could affect your production of things. So if you can manage to do yourself different things, then that's one way to get around it. But life is just like I said, life is just full of surprises and different things and stuff like that. There's always more than one way to do this thing. It makes it interesting. It makes life interesting, and that's I'm just, that's where the whole philosophical part of things come in. But that's probably for a whole nother video. I just want to get this particular thought out there and to you guys. So what do you guys think of that? Especially for those who are content creators, like, what do you think of that? Do you also think that doing the one thing is not that beneficial in the long run, or you like doing it? I definitely will always welcome different opinions or different perspectives. Those are more than welcome in the comment section below. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and I have a Twitter, so check me out there. All else, please check it out in the description below. This is just more than one way to support your channel, and again, it's really up to you. So this has been the Hawke Talks on variety channels. Really doing this one thing isn't that beneficial in my opinion. That sort of thing. Again, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next video, and stay safe, and follow all medical professional advice from your community. So, Sean out.